Hello everyone, I'm Ollie, one of the marketing and CRM consultants here at HubGem. We specialize in HubSpot implementation for the education sector, and in this series I'm going to be outlining the AI features that HubSpot CRM offers and how to use them. So in this episode we're going to be having a look at how the AI can actually help us build some of our lists. So of course, and for those who don't know as well, lists are going to be the single best way for you to start to segment your audience when you want to start distributing content to them. But of course, lists can just be used to organize, your records into different groups as well, just for internal use perhaps. So they're a very, very useful tool. And certainly if you're a marketer, you're going to be using them very regularly as well for things like your marketing email sends. But of course, as with anything, sometimes the filtering required to get the results that you want can be a little bit finicky, a little bit tricky to work out exactly how to pull in the right people into your list. And that's where the AI tool can help us out. So like with a few of the tools we've been looking at in the last few different episodes, you've kind of got two ways to do this. One of the ways is when you're within your main screen or any of the screens in your HubSpot account, where you have sort of the top menu bar on the left navigation bar, where you've got the Copilot option pretty much. You can just click into that, open up the Copilot window as we know, and we can go ahead and sort of use the prompt to get the result that we want here for our lists. So as always, if you know the prompt, you can just begin to type it, but I'll go through where you can find it if you're unsure. So where we see more prompts, this is where we get into basically all of the different things that Copilot can do. And underneath the generate sort of a tab of prompts, you can see the generate list option here. If we click that, it will pull in that prompt for us into Copilot's chat window here. Create a list of. It's giving us sort of the different object types that we can use here to create a list. So your main ones, of course, are going to be contact, company, and deal, but we've got tickets, cart, and orders available here as well. Let's just use contact. And then all we have to do in sort of the pink highlighted area is pretty much just describe the filters that we want to use here, or at least sort of the properties that we'll want to use. So like it says with the sort of guidance, traits, associations, events, whatever it is. So I can go ahead here and say create a list of contacts. Let's go with something like created this month. So what we're actually just asking there is just create a list, all of the contacts we've created. That could be, automatically through forms, that could be manually. Just pull together a list for me of all of the contacts that we've gone ahead and created this month. Perhaps I want to go ahead and do some sort of introductory marketing campaign with those new contacts or whatever that might be. What Copilot will then do is, again, depending on things like internet connection, very quickly or a little bit more slowly, go ahead and kind of just run through what filters it would need in order to build this list for you. So once it does sort of work that out, it will produce the result for you. Here's a summary of the filters that were generated. And depending on, of course, how detailed your prompt was or how easy that list might be to build, it will recommend exactly sort of what filter it needs in order to ultimately achieve what you've asked it to do. So in our case here, it's gone with create date is less than 21 days ago. As of time of recording, it's the 22nd of the month. So that would capture everyone that we've gone ahead and created so far this month. And then it says, would you like to create the list? This is where we can go ahead and if those filters, if it did return sort of filters that seem to work, then we can go ahead and jump into the tool here, create the list in HubSpot. It will successfully do that, and then you can go ahead and view it just by clicking the button underneath. So if we navigated manually as well to that lists tool, we would see Copilot has gone ahead and created that list for us. So the second way, like I mentioned, that we can go ahead and still utilize the AI functionality to help us create this list is from within the lists tool itself. As you will see here, that list we created previously using the Copilot window is in there. It's dropped into our list of lists, and as you can see here, we've got or it's set it up as an active list. We've got the correct contact as the object. You can of course see who created it, and if we wanted to go in and change it, of course we could do. We can see the details. We can clone it. All of the same functionality that is present, whether you created this manually or through the AI, is there. But let's say we want to go ahead and do it through the lists tool itself, have a little bit more sort of flexibility, a little bit more control over how we actually create the list, and just use the AI to actually help us with the filtering suggestions. So we'll go ahead and create the list up in the top right. This is where we get to sort of dictate this a little bit better than we can through the Copilot window, but the idea here is it is exactly the same. So we've got the choice of which objects that we want to use here. As you can see, we've got those sort of 6 that were listed previously. You'll notice we also therefore have the other objects underneath here, which have potentially some of your custom ones you might have in your account, and some other objects that were not in the list when we did it through Copilot. So a little bit more flexibility there. What we've also then got to utilize the AI, just like we kind of did with the Copilot chat window, is to just put our prompt of what we want to see in this text box here. So this is where we're using the AI to just describe exactly sort of what we want. So let's go ahead and use the sort of same prompt that we used, and then we'll be able to kind of compare what it does when we go through the different tools. So last time we just wanted to know contacts created this month. So that's the prompt that we used last time, and that's the one that we'll go ahead and use this time. So we'll hit next. What that will then do is take us through in the background there to the sort of list builder that will hopefully be familiar if you've used HubSpot in the past. But what you'll also get is this list assistant that pops out from the right side. It uses the same model as Copilot. It's not officially called Copilot, it's a slightly different looking window, but the functionality here is exactly the same as what we experienced with Copilot. So we've got our prompt there. We can edit this if we wanted to go ahead. Perhaps it returns filters that were not quite what we were looking for. We can go ahead and click edit the prompt and regenerate based on what we've just typed. But as you can see there, it has gone ahead, used the same filter we had last time, create date less than 21 days ago, as it's the 22nd of the month today. And then if we're happy with that, we can add these filters to our list, just like you would have done if you go through the actual sort of menu to find the filters that you needed. And then it will pull in, of course, a preview at least of those results. Now, the nice thing here is, of course, once we've got the list, using the Copilot window, we couldn't sort of change the list. It was either just rerun the prompt and have another go, or create it. Whereas when we're in the window here, we've of course got the ability to go ahead and edit our filters and continue to add additional ones, maybe later down the line if you need to. So of course, if it perhaps got this prompt wrong, or perhaps that prompt is no longer relative, we can come in here, of course, and play around with that. What we've also got as well, if once we're in the list builder, if you needed to add another filter group, we can go back up in the top right here to use the AI to help us create the filters, and we could add another filter then to this list as well. Through the Copilot window, we were only sort of giving that one prompt for that one group. We could use, we could describe sort of multiple properties, and we could have multiple filters built out from Copilot. But if we wanted to have specific sort of different groups, set groups, this is the best way to kind of utilize the AI to help you do that. So exactly the same deal that we just saw. We've got the text box, we put our prompt in. If we like the result, we apply the filter, and we can kind of build out the rest of this list, maybe to be more specific for your segment, or perhaps you want 2 segments to be part of one list and send them sort of similar content. So fairly simple feature. The lists feature, if you haven't used it before, is a fairly simple tool in and of itself, and the AI being there, of course, makes that even easier. If we head back out to our lists, we'll now see the previous list that we had created, and of course, if we saved that one, we would have also had that drop in here as well, and we could come in and play around with that, change it, use the AI in the future to make those changes if we needed to. So there you go, that's all for this video. I really hope you found it useful and informative. If you want to learn more about HubSpot or how we can help with your implementation within education, the links you'll need will either be on this post or they'll be in the description. Bye for now.